Okay, so we've got our drawer tracks installed, and now we're ready to begin putting this cabinet together. So I've got the right side here. I'm going to stand the right side up on its edge, and I'm going to bring the bottom or deck over to it and slide it up, and it should snug right up to that drawer track. Okay? I see here. Okay. So I'm going to hold that flush as I possibly can. Make sure that this is perpendicular. There we go. That's a little bit better. Trying to hold it as perpendicular as possible. And I'm going to go ahead and install one staple into it. And then I'm going to hold it down here. Actually, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use a clamp. I think it'll be easier. Do this. Open this all the way up. So just snug that up so it's nothing's flopping around. And we'll go ahead and put a staple in down here. And we'll put one more staple in. Ooh, look at that. So that's an interesting dilemma here. Looks like my gun double fired, and then the second staple here just landed right on top of the other staple and bent itself all up. So I'm just going to break this off here using my side cutters. Get rid of that piece. And let's just see if I can pull the staple. Okay. Oh. So that's the second staple. You can see the first staple is still there. So whatever happened, either I bounced it or accidentally, probably bounced a little bit, and I pulled the trigger twice, and the second staple then just hit the first staple and bent upwards. So I still got a staple in that spot. I can go ahead and drill my conformat holes. I'm going to go ahead and install these screws right now. Okay, so I've got my side firmly attached to the bottom. I'm going to come over here and get the left side of the cabinet. Again, you can use a clamp to assist this operation. Just to hold it in place while you get some staples installed. So this looks like there's a little bit of a registration issue right here. So I'm going to put one staple into this. I'm going to go ahead and put a shim, laminate shim, under the low side. So the side of the cabinet is a little bit low below the bottom of the cabinet. In fact, I'm going to get 2 shims just in case I need it. And then I'm going to just take a mallet here, 1 tap, and it's now flush. So these, by shimming up the low side, it gives me room on the bench to tap that bottom down so that it's now flush. With it in the flush position, then I can go ahead and put some more shims. Put some more staples. I'm going to go ahead and drill for compliments. And you can see that the CNC machine didn't quite make it through the board on these 2 spots, but right there, if I can sort of see where it's perforated, and right here, there's another hole right there, and I believe, yeah, there should be another hole right up here, right there. So you can check the other side to make sure that you're in the right position, and then you should be able to find it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and install the other screws. Alright, so I've got the side fully attached to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and flip that so that the bottom is now sitting on the bench. And because I can, I'm going to lower that just a little bit to make this a little bit easier to work on. Alright, so now I want to take a clamp and just put it into position, set it on the top of the cabinet. And I'm going to get what is labeled as my top stretcher and put it into position. So I've got just enough tension on my clamp so that I can put this in place and move it around. And when I get it close to where I want it, then I'm just going to go ahead and snug it up a little bit so that I can actually position it in the exact location that I want it to be, like that, and it'll stay in place. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 staples into this. Like so. We'll go to the other side and put 2 staples in, and I have this located just where I want it to. There's enough tension on this clamp that I can move this piece and adjust it, but it will stay in place. got that thing stapled in place, so go ahead and put the compromat screws. Alright, so I've got the drills pre-drilled, screws pre-drilled. Install those screws. I can go ahead and make that clamp now. At this point, what we want to do is actually put the back of the cabinet, slide it down into these grooves. So I'm going to get my cabinet back. So it's nice seated into the bottom groove as well. All right. And I can locate my top stretcher with the groove in it. And that was the piece that's going to go right here. I can slide it into position. Engage it with the back of the cabinet. Go ahead and get my staple gun. If you want, you can put a clamp in place. Interesting. So your clamp will just put some tension on this so it's not going to slide around while you're trying to install staples. Go ahead and put one staple in, then we can remove the clamp. Get it out of our way. We can install another staple. And now we'll go ahead and get our compromat bit and put our screws in.
We're at 15.
Okay. We'll stop here. Okay, at this point we basically have a box that's assembled. We still have a couple of drawer stretchers and a couple of nailers to install, so let's end it there.